I'm guessing it's live. It said it wasn't live and I guess it is now. Okay, now it's live. Hi everyone, it's Sunday afternoon. If you have a chance to join me, thank you. I know you're busy and doing your own thing on a Sunday, but I'm super duper excited to share with you what I've been working on in the last week, and that is hand painting more of my yarn. I'll give you a couple minutes to join in, and then I'll talk about the process of dyeing the different yarns and why I chose the different colorways, and then give you some suggestions on some of my free patterns that you could use to make to knit or crochet with the yarn. Weather's kind of iffy here today. It looks like it's going to rain. The lighting's kind of tough in my office here, but we'll see what we can do, and hopefully you can see the colors. I've photographed everything already, and everything's for sale and for a limited time on sale on my website. I'll put links to that later, or if you just go to my website, you can see all of that. The pictures turned out really nice. I don't know if you're familiar with doing product photography or not, but natural lighting is always best, and because it was on the verge of raining today, it meant that it was overcast, but hi Judy, thanks for coming. When it's, what was I going to say? When it's overcast, but you get natural light, but you get natural indirect light. It's not quite as good as sunrise or sunset for warm coloring, but it's actually wonderful for getting accurate color representation for product. So an overcast day, middle of the day where it's bright, is my favorite time of day to do product photography, because I'll take a picture and then look at it next to the product, and if I can say, yep, it looks pretty darn close to the actual product, then I feel comfortable about the photography. It's kind of tough photographing product and trying to sell it online. If you can't get the colors close, you know, it could be scary selling things online. It's not the same as being able to touch and feel and buy in person. So that's how I get my colors as accurate as possible. Let's see, 4:02. I guess we'll wait a couple more minutes before we get started. Another sip of my water. Oh, I don't have room for that one in here. I think in some upcoming live videos or Facebook Lives, I'll show more of the free patterns that I forgot to show you last time that are coming soon, and I'll show you some of the quilting project that I've been working on with Day of the Dragonfly, and then in a future one I'll do the yarn craft on canvas that we talked about last time. Okay, I think without further ado I will get started on showing you the new colorways, and this is for my holiday collection. This one, let's see, this one is called Sugarplum. Look at that one up close. And what I did, and when I say hand paint, it's a little different than hand dyeing, and I call it hand painting because I literally paint every single hank by hand. I started with a really pale lavender, which you can see here, and then I blended by hand to get a very vibrant iris purple on one end, and then a very vibrant sapphire on the other end, and then start from those vibrant points. I massage the dye all the way back to the center of the lavender so that the colors blend really beautifully. Hopefully that shows up. And you can see a whole bunch of it drying over here. I start out by drying my yarn outside, and it's great first to a certain point, but then after that I bring it inside to go under the ceiling fans. The problem is it's so humid down here that if I kept it outside for too long, it would never dry at all. So I get the bulk of the drying done by the warm temperature outside, and then I finish it off with the low humidity and moving air from the ceiling fans when I bring it inside. So this is Sugarplums, going from a vibrant iris purple to a pale lavender to a bright and vibrant sapphire blue, and I've done it in both Be So Fine and Be So Sporty yarns, and I'll show you. Here's the Sporty sport weight, and then the fine fingering weight. Okay, the next color I want to show you is Cranberry Frost, and here's what it looks like. Cranberry Frost started with a pale yellow in the center, and then by hand I massaged a really bright pink and a deeper raspberry from one end to the other, and then massage those bright colors all the way back to the yellow, and it turns out that you get more of like a peachy coral, but really bright on the one end, and you get a raspberry cranberry deep color on the other end, and it almost looks like a fiery sunset the way it goes from the coral to the yellow to the raspberry cranberry. Isn't that beautiful? This is the Be So Fine, and then here it is in the Be So Sporty, which is the sport weight versus the fingering weight. And then third, thank you Trina, thank you Judy, I'm glad you guys like them. I have so much fun dyeing by hand, and it's so much more like painting for me because I'm able to do it all by hand. I don't just dip them in a pot and wait. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think kettle dye and all different types of dyeing are gorgeous, and they're all different and beautiful on their own. But the fact that I get to do every single hank by hand and massage the colors to create just the right blends is really fulfilling for me. So here's the third one. This is called All Spruced Up. And what I started with on this one is a very pale silvery sage in the center, and then I worked out to like a Grecian blue, so like the color of a medium sky blue, not baby at all, but like a medium sky blue, and then a very dark teal blue on this end, and they blend with the silvery sage to give it a very beautiful green. It's definitely blue green. This isn't blue and it's not green, but it goes from that darker teal blue to the silvery sage to a deeper, or to a medium Grecian blue on this end. So pretty. So pretty. Definitely mermaid colors. If you or someone you love is into mermaids, definitely good for mermaids. So like if you were doing like a lace scale pattern, very pretty for mermaid tail suggestion. So then here's the Be So Sporty version, and here's the Be So Fine version. Please don't look at my nails or my hands. They're still quite damaged from forgetting to wear my gloves again. Hi Linda, thanks for joining today. I know it's Sunday, and I know you all have lots of fun and wonderful things to do on Sunday Fun Day, so thank you for joining me if you had a chance to join. Okay, so this is All Spruced Up, Fine and Sporty weight. I normally charge $38 for the hand-painted yarns, but for the holidays and for a limited time, they're only $29.99, and there's a coupon code for free US shipping, and all that information is on my website on all the links. And now I wanted to show you some of my free patterns that would work beautifully for any of these yarns. So we'll start with a couple of garments. These are, oops, sorry, these are for the Be So Sporty. This is my Kimmy top. And the pattern actually comes with a long sleeve and short sleeve version. And if you can see at the bottom here, it's a very beautiful, very simple pullover. It's knit in the round. It's got a very simple hem at the bottom, knit in the round all the way to the sleeve openings. And then after you have the sleeve openings and you start the yoke, you've got this beautiful stitch pattern of a very simple lace. Can you see it? So this is a seamless project, and it you know, it involves different sizes, different amounts of yarn because of the various sizes. It does come in a very large size range from I think 36 to 52, and I also have YouTube tutorial videos to walk you step by step through the whole project. And then here's a crochet pullover that's also seamless. And this one is done in Be So Sporty as well, and the pattern comes with long sleeve and a short cap sleeve version. This is Sweet Clara top. This one starts at the top with raglan shaping and then is worked seamlessly all the way to the bottom. I have a whole series of videos available for this top. I think there's 8 videos in the series, and it shows you how to do the cap sleeve, the long sleeve, and even a dress version of this top. Very popular pattern, really a lot of fun to make, and between the charts and the line-by-line instructions in the free pattern and all the videos, even if you've never made a garment before, this could be your first one. It's really fun. Okay, and then I have a whole bunch of shawls I wanted to show you. that could make fantastic projects with the new hand painted yarn, or with any of the other yarns for that matter, and you'll see, whoops, and you'll actually see them in the other colors as well. So this is the Keywest Crocheted Shawl. It's done in one hank from the top down, and then has a beautiful edging along the bottom. This is a one hank project. It only takes one hank of Be So Fine to make this. So with 650 yards of any of these three colors, or any of my semi-solid hand-dyed colors, you could make this a one hank project. The pattern comes with line-by-line instructions, charts, and I have also done 2 YouTube videos on my YouTube channel showing you how to get started and work in the established pattern, and then also how to work this beautiful edging. Thank you, Mary. I'm glad you like it. Okay, and then here's a shawl done in Be So Sporty yarn. This is knit, and it's worked from the top down. See those beautiful flowers in the lace? Okay, see, that's probably the hardest part of the whole pattern. And not that it is hard, but it would be the hardest part, because then the rest of it is just these simple panels of eyelet and stockinette, and then it finishes with a garter stitch ruffle. And that would be a 2 hank project in Be So Sporty yarn. This is called the Golden Sunset Shawl. Here's one that shows what my variegated hand-painted yarns looks like knit up. Hi there, Selena, thank you. This is the Jamaican Bay colorway of one of my hand-painted yarns. This one was with a yellow, a gold, and a teal. And I also wanted to show this one because it shows you how fun it is to add a contrast color border to the variegated yarns. This is a top-down shawl, super simple. It's in garter stitch with a little bit of eyelet increasing, and then you finish off with this beautiful eyelet lace ruffle. So you work it's two hank project, so you work in the one hank till you run out of yarn, and then you start the ruffle with the second one. Super simple. And it's a half hexagon shape, which is a really fun shape to wear. You can wear it as a halter top, beach sarong around your hips. You can wear it as a shawl in a number of ways. Really fun. And it's the simple kind of project that you could take to knit night out with your friends or for traveling. It's not the type of project that requires a whole lot of concentration, so it's a great project for taking when you're on the go. Here's another shawl done in that same similar style of the half hexagon. This is Hibiscus. Again, using 2 different colors to contrast between the shawl and the edging, and this one's got a ribbed edging on it. So you could even mix and match one of these with a solid color, or mix and match 2 of them throughout. You can see how I striped in between the 2 of them a little bit. That would be really fun as well. Here's a project that would be great for 2 colors of yarn. It's a knit wrap. Oh, hi Amy Could. I'm glad you like Hibiscus. That is a fun one, and it's great to take if you're traveling. Where were you when you made it? Were you on the road at all, or were you at home? It's definitely a relaxing project, right? This one's called Simply Stripe. It's kind of interesting. It's a 7-row repeat knit lace pattern. And when you think about it, most of the time things are even numbered rows repeats. And that's how you keep the right side facing all the time, because all even or all odd numbers would be the right side, and the opposite would be the case for the wrong side. Or, let's see, if right side is odd number rows, then wrong side will be even number rows. And what happens when you change that up and you make it an odd number repeat, it means that right side will be the opposite in every repeat, which sounds screwy for lots of reasons, but if you're, okay Amy, you'll have to let me know when you do make it. I want to see pictures. So when you do it on purpose, it gives you a reversible pattern. See how the lace goes to the right in one color and then goes to the left in another color? Whoops, there's a snag there. Let's look at a prettier spot. See that? So it changes the direction of the pattern, which makes it a flat, non-curling pattern. It's also in garter base, so that keeps it nice and flat and non-curling. But it really adds to the dimension of the texture of the lace. And it's all knit, purl, and knit two together. It couldn't be simpler. That would be another great project for taking on the road. Let's see, and then here's another one that I have a pattern, free pattern, charts, and also video for. This is called Molten Lava. It's a crochet shawl, and there's two videos for it. There's one for the shawl and then one for the edging. This is a one hank project in Be So Fine yarn. So with one hank of Be So Fine, 650 yards, you could make this entire project. And I would like to add that my yarns make really great gifts for knitters and crocheters because, well, not only does it come with hundreds of choices and free patterns, but this is how the yarn comes to you. It comes wound into a center pull center pull ball already. It comes in a mesh storage bag like this, and I add a pot of Rapture, my all natural delicate wash. It's no rinse, and I add that to the bag. So it makes for a really lovely presentation if you're thinking of a gift to give one of your knitter or crochet friends. Isn't that cute? I've been doing this since the day I started my yarn company, and I always had in mind that I thought it would make for really great gifts for knitters and crocheters. We know what we want to make, but sometimes we don't know what our friends want to make, and so by giving them the yarn already presented as a gift, it makes it a wonderful gift for a knitter or crocheter. Ooh, this was another thing I wanted to suggest for the new hand-dyed yarns. This is called Crystal Chain Necklace, and oh, there's a whole bunch of them on here. I have a YouTube video on it. I have the free pattern on my website for it. I sell it as a kit on my website also. And it is by far the simplest necklace you could ever make. Even if you don't crochet, you could figure out how to do this. All it is chaining with crystal beads. And then you do single crochet for a little bit on the back side to cinch the whole thing together to create this beautiful necklace. Now what I'm thinking is how gorgeous would it be in one of these hand-dyed or hand-painted colors if you did the necklace in the yarn that changes color. I think that you could do it with either, you know, clear crystal, like crystal AB crystal beads, or you could just do it without beads and it would be super pretty. Here's one that has just the clear AB crystals on it, and I think that would be absolutely stunning on one of the hand-painted variegated colorways. I could see that in my future. So that's one of the things that I think would be super duper fun. I've also got some other projects I wanted to show you. This is in Be So Sporty yarn. This is Majestic Skies shawl. And this is done in 4 colors. And what I thought would be really fun for one of the hand-painted yarns is if you picked 3 coordinating colors from the rest of my palette of yarns to work them all together. Isn't that beautiful? There's square motifs that are done in all one color, square motifs done in 4 colors because it's a 4-round repeat, and then there are triangle motifs. I'll show you one at the bottom. And then the edging is also done in the same pattern as the motifs. What I did was I converted a square crochet motif into square, 2 types of triangle, and edging to create this in all the exact same stitch pattern throughout. That would be so much fun to see in the, honestly, you could actually do it in just the variegated color and you wouldn't have to cut the yarn so often like you did in this one. This one has a lot of ends to weave in. Hey, it's part of the process sometimes, right? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. And here for the opposite case, this would be a 1 skein project in Be So Fine yarn. Can you believe that? That's only 1 skein of yarn. It starts at the top and then it grows all the way down to this beautiful scallop lace edge. And that would be 1 skein of Be So Fine. Misty Memories. And I have a crochet one that's, oh, this one's also in the half hexagon shape like the other 2 I showed you earlier, but this is in Be So Fine yarn and it's crocheted. This is Isla Murata shawl. It starts at the top and increases out to the bottom with a beautiful ruffle edging. and this is one skein of Be So Fine yarn. Every pattern that I'm showing you here today is a free pattern on my website. Many of them have free videos on my YouTube channel, and more often than not, they are linked together. Hi, Chris. Oh, I'm so glad you came. Thank you. Hi, Barbara. Thank you for joining us. This is one of my favorite pieces. Okay, I've got favorite projects that are my favorite to knit, favorite to crochet, favorite to make, favorite to see, and then there are the ones that are my favorite to wear. And this one is the Little Hickory lace cape, and it is such a cool technique. This is a technique that I developed for my book, Knitting Outside the Swatch, which if you've never had a chance to read that book, it takes knitting and just turns it on its head. I developed all kinds of knit motifs. So if you think about it in terms of crochet, you've got motifs that you can join as you go. Well, I created knit motifs that you can join as you go in rows, in rounds, in short rows, in all sorts of different ways, and then show you how to join them without sewing. And this is one of the techniques from that book where I created this scalloped border. And see how they're all like their own little motif? Well, I make each one and then join this. So you make one, then you start the next one, then you start the next one. So the first row of the project is the entire bottom hem of these scallops. And then you work upwards in this beautiful offset scale motif, which I think looks like a mermaid tail, but that's just me. and then decreases for the yoke. Then you continue on in that same gorgeous pattern. And when you're binding off at the top, you make the ties with stitches so that you're not sewing those on afterwards either. So this is entirely a seamless project, and it's still only one hank of Be So Fine yarn. So with 650 yards, one ball of yarn, you can make this entire cape with 2 ends to weave in. It sits on your shoulders beautifully, and it flows. It's not too long. It stays just below your elbow. I've taken lots of pictures with it, so please take a look at the free pattern on my website. I honestly, in all the shows I've done, I've never seen someone not look gorgeous in this. It's so pretty. And look at the drape, just pretty, pretty. So that would be another great one hank project. Oh, this one's good too. And then here's a beautiful scarf that's crocheted. Worked from the center out, and then you work all the way to the edge with the edging that replicates the stitch pattern. I love doing that in crochet. I love replicating the stitch pattern in an edging. And then you come back to the center. You see where I joined it? It's invisible if you're not familiar to crochet. If you are familiar, you can see where you start the next one. It's still slightly invisible though. And then you work out into the other direction, and then you've got. So even though you do have to cut the yarn, it's still a one hank project, still only 650 yards, one hank of Be So Fine yarn. And oh, here's one of the projects that takes different colors of yarn, but you could also do this in one color. And because this one makes it nice and busy and festive with the multi, if you stuck with one yarn instead that's hand painted, you could also get this type of a look without having so many ends to weave in. That one is also, thank you, Chris. All of these are free patterns on my website, and lots of them have YouTube tutorial videos that link on the pattern and also could just be found on my YouTube channel. This is the first piece I ever made with Be So Fine yarn, which is my first yarn that I ever made. This is a knit shawl, worked from the top down, and it has the most incredible elongated stitch on there. Can you see it? If you're a knitter, do you know how when you wrap the yarn several times and make those elongated stitches, well, you know how you have to carry all of that across the row most of the time? I have a technique in this shawl where you finish that stitch as you make it, so you never have more than the number of stitches on your row to carry along the row. So this makes it a lot easier, a lot less cumbersome to knit something with drop stitches. Look at how sheer that is. Isn't that pretty? I absolutely love this shawl. Love it. Oh, here's another beautiful one. This one reminds me of the razor shell, one of the scallop shells you see at the beach. I'll stand up so you can see. And you see how it has kind of like a chevron? So it starts at the top, and you've got, or no, I'm sorry, this one starts at the bottom. You start with the garter ruffle, and then you decrease as you go up in all of these sections, and they just get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier until you get to the top, and you bind off. Hi Leslie, thank you so much. Glad to see you join us. Have you taught any of your kids how to crochet or knit? What kind of crafts do you like to do, Leslie? This one is a shrug done in Be So Sporty yarn. This is a 2-hank project done in crushed berries, but it could be beautiful in the variegated yarns. And what would be fun is you could pick up on all of those different colors with whatever garment you wore underneath it. So pretty. This one started in the center and worked out to both ends. Ooh, and we'll do one more crochet shawl. Oh, actually, no, this is a crochet top. I have a shawl that looks like this too. This is a pineapple top I did for a magazine in Be So Fine yarn, and that could be done in 1 hank also. So as you see, I have tons and tons of free patterns available for all of my color palette, actually, for Be So Fine and Be So Sporty, but also would be beautiful with the holiday collection. And for those of you that weren't here in the beginning, I'll just go over what the 3 colors are. I hand painted all of these yarns this weekend. And hand painted meaning that I don't just dip them into a pot, I actually hand massage the colors onto the yarn so that you can see this beautiful color blend. See how it starts at teal and then slowly and gradually goes to the silvery sage and then the Grecian blue? That's because I actually paint each hank by hand. I don't do a batch. Well, I mean, they're kind of in a batch, but because like I'll do all the blues at one time and then all the pinks and all the greens at a different time and all the purples, but I do each colorway. Every hank gets massaged by hand to make sure that we get this beautiful color blending. This one is all spruced up, and it goes from a dark teal to a light silvery sage to a Grecian blue, and it's available in Be So Fine and Be So Sporty yarn. This is Cranberry Frost, and it goes from a really bright and vibrant coral peach to a very pale yellow to a very vibrant cranberry raspberry on the other end. Isn't that beautiful? So, I mean, it looks bright and vibrant on the picture, I hope. It is in real life too. So pretty, so cheerful. And then this is the 3rd new colorway. This is called Sugarplum, and it starts with a pale silvery lavender, and it works out to, thank you Chris, I'm glad you like it. It's so cheerful and bright and vibrant, and I think it could make anybody happy to receive it as a gift. Then we have a very vibrant iris purple on one end that blends beautifully to the pale silvery sage and then comes back out to a bright sapphire blue. Thank you, Chris. I'm glad you like it. So again, these are the 3 colors for my holiday collection of hand-painted yarns. And they're available in Be So Fine and Be So Sporty weights. They all come with, wound into a center pull ball for free. Comes in a mesh storage bag. Comes with a Pot of Rapture, my all-natural delicate wash. That's also no rinse, and with resources for hundreds of free knit and crochet patterns and tutorial videos on my website and my YouTube channel. If you have any questions, by all means leave them for me here or message me on any of my social media sites. I'm happy to help you pick a color, pick a project based on your skill level, maybe encourage you to try something new that you haven't done before. And if you have any suggestions for future tutorials or future live presentations, by all means, please let me know. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate you taking time out on your Sunday fun day. So go back and have some fun. Figure out what you'd like to make next, and I'll talk to you soon.